Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1634. I'm exhausted. I'm tired because it was a long 2 days in Chicago, but also Ernie is full of shit. Ernie is full of shit. Ernie woke me up at 2:45, and I think it might have been because I got to bed late. Did eBay Live last night, and so that probably stirred him awake when I got into bed because he was already in bed. So he got up at 2:45, took a dump, woke me up at I think 6:30, and I was like, "Dude, come on, I want to sleep." But he had to take another shit, so he pooped again, and then and I was just kind of laying in bed, like I was awake at 8:45, and he's wanting to go out again. I'm like, okay. So I take him out. This time he poops 2 different times. And we're talking like standard poops. Not talking like little rabbit turds. We're talking 4 full-on poops from 2:45 to 8:45, 6 hours. And they were healthy poops, not runny. Just good old-fashioned poops. All right. Hopefully you're not eating your breakfast. So I'm a little tired. It was a long 2 days. Did eBay Live last night. Kind of a funny eBay Live. I'll talk about last night's show. Picked up a ton. Like I went into Chicago with a wide variety. I was targeting like the $20 to $100 items. Like that was kind of my goal. But I had within that, I also wanted to dig through bargain because my biggest margins are dollar cards. Like when and that was certainly the case last night. Dollar Shohei Ohtani sells for $22. That's where the biggest margins come in. So I wanted to, but that was secondary, and that's pretty much what I focused on Saturday. Was I called it dumpster diving. I shared the story a little bit last night on eBay Live, but I did some bargain boxing on Saturday. But Friday, I focused on some of the bigger cards. Vintage. I really wanted to get some vintage. I get a lot of requests for it. It's not something I typically source very often. It just kind of, when I have it, it's just like, hey, I got this. You want this set? Yeah, sure. I wanted to get some hockey and soccer, which I didn't really find much. But I also didn't want to. The hockey and soccer was stuff that I would have to because I don't know enough about hockey and soccer. That's something I've got to find in dollar boxes. Like if I find Ronaldo, Messi, that type of stuff in a dollar box, I'm all for it. So I'm not going to go showcase shopping for hockey and soccer. Wrestling was a focus, and I did. I thought it was an end to my day. I bought a Hulk Hogan autograph. It was something I was looking, and there were. I don't know where it went. Probably important to find that. Oh, there it is. So this is the Hogan autograph. And I love it because it's got Mr. T in the background. It's numbered to 15. It's a really cool card. I didn't really like the price because I wanted a Hulk Hogan. But the more I see it, the more I look at it, the more I like it. There were a couple other Hogan autographs that were higher priced. That was the cheapest one I saw. I passed on it on Friday, and then I came back on Saturday afternoon, and it was still there. Sticker price was $300. I offered $260. They said $270. I'm like, I'll take $270. You know how I love negotiating, so I got it for $270. It's probably one of those things where I might lose money on it, but it's a great anchor for, if I can sell a bunch of dollar cards and make $20 each, $10 each, I can pay for the loss that I take potentially on the Hogan Auto. I picked up some other random stuff. I've been looking for. I had a lot of success during my early wrestling night with the silver bar of the Miz. So there was one of these in a box at the end of the day. Raquel Rodriguez Troyons of silver. I think those are sweet. So I did find some wrestling that I'll get for this Saturday is wrestling night on eBay Live. It's going to be a watch along with Survivor Series, so we're going to have some fun with that coming up on Saturday night. So I bought. I wanted to find cheap slabs. I wanted to some higher end stuff. Like for me, higher end stuff. It's a low grade 55 mantle is high end for me. I understand. What was the? I don't know what the grade was, probably a 1 or 1.5. I understand that's a low grade, but it's still high end. when I'm selling dollar cards, $400 card is higher end. So, picked up a lot of fun stuff. I came home and I had some packages from various orders, and I have a bunch of Topps points. So I've been buying some Topps now with points. And I'm not buying them. I have basically free cards. So I ordered a 5-pack of Cooper Flag. And for the first time, and I've only ordered a dozen Topps Now cards over the years. For the first time, I got a parallel. I got a green Cooper Flag rookie out of 99 from Topps Now. So there are 3 listed on eBay. I think the lowest is like $275. So I got 4 base cards and then a green to 99. So I'm very happy with that. I'll get that posted. I'll probably list mine at match the lowest price at like $275, accept offers. The base I'll run on eBay Live. So that was a nice little surprise when I got home. Although I had an order from eBay Live where I ordered a bunch of these CCG, some CCG 10s. They sent me all Jackson Dart. And then there was a soccer, a Messi, Erling Haaland, numbered to 15, that was part of one of those auctions. But I think they made a mistake. I got to wait. I think I have one more package with them, which may have the other stuff. So I think there was some kind of I got to go back and find what I actually won, because I know I wouldn't have only won a bunch of. Actually, this might have been. They might have crossed the wires on the tracking, because this tracking was attached to like 3 different orders, none of which I think were Jackson Dart. So I'll wait. I have another package with them in transit, so I'll wait till that package arrives, and then that. I'm guessing they're just crisscrossed. And then what else did I pick up? I picked up some. And I got some a bunch of sealed wax too. I picked up one of my viewers on eBay Live sent me a message and said there's a deal on Target, I think, for 2024 Prism Monopoly, where it ends up being like, what was the like $10 or $11 for basically a blaster box. So I bought 5 and I picked those up. You could just have them. You could just go order them online, get the discount, and then go pick them up in the store. So I did that. I think they'll do well. I think I'll do at least $20 on those. So I think that should do well. The bargain box, the dumpster diving. There was a booth I walked by it on Friday, and it's like there's a lot of good stuff. So I did make one. I make a lot of mistakes, but one mistake that I made on Friday was I was targeting low end, huge names. We're talking Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, Roberto Clemente, Jackie Robinson. So that's the type of vintage I was targeting on Friday. There was one booth in the back, and all vintage. And he had some decent prices, especially on some mantles. Now, and we're talking like, not like the base card mantle. I don't know what to call the standard issue card, where the standalone Mickey Mantle. It's like the Bronx Bombers, where he's with somebody, or a league leader card. but it was at a really good price where it's like I could probably double my money on that. You know, it's $50. It might sell for 90 to 100. And I'm like, I'll come back. I did a deal with Mark. Mark's not in the chat today because he's at the show. So I did a nice deal with him on Friday. He hooked me up. That's where I got the 55 Bowman Mantle and the 54 Ted Williams. And I was going to go back, and I'm like, I'll just go back tomorrow. So I went bargain box shopping Saturday morning to Jennings, which their box, even on Saturday, like I didn't even go on Friday to their boxes, but man, Saturday they were still loaded. Picked up a nice chunk of Jordans, which I was running low on. Some were Kobe's. Yeah, there were some Kobe's in there, which I 8x'd my money on Kobe's. 22x'd on Shohei Ohtani. So their bargain boxes were loaded up and they're awesome. And I'm hoping they are gonna because Nate, who runs the shop, asked me if I had any tables available for the upcoming shows, and I'm like, I'll get you in. I'll get you in. So after that, then I went looking for the dumpster with like just the random mishmash. It looked the booth setup. I guess I can liken it to a flea market. Like it looked like a flea market setup. And I spent a lot of time. I probably spent the most time at the flea market booth than anywhere else. But I did find before I got there, I found the table with the mantles. There were like 4 or 5 empty slots in a showcase. Poof, gone. All the mantles that I was eyeing on Friday, gone. So that's one of those cases where if it looks like a good deal and you should grab it. Don't wait because they'll probably be gone. Now the flea market booth was another one that I passed on Friday. I went into the booth and I was just kind of digging through stuff. I'm like, there's some good stuff here. When I go bargain box hunting on Saturday, I'll look through here. So I started at some of the dollar boxes, and there were some unopened packs like wild card college basketball, which they were $1. They were $1. That stuff, and I think a few of them sold for, actually, I don't know if I sold any of the wild card basketball. I sold a couple packs and they were going for like $3-4 last night. And then I was so much oddball stuff. Like, I have some friends who are Frank Thomas super collectors, and I pulled a bunch of Frank Thomas. For Cooter, I pulled out, I think there was some Willie Mays and maybe McCovey oddball stuff. So I was looking for some of that stuff too. There was, where's that box? What I love these 81 Donruss. You don't know, it's like a mystery pack, but it's either like I think this is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band cards. Sometimes it's golf. One pack I opened a few years ago was dirt bikes, I think. So pretty cool. They had like 5 or 6 of these left, so I bought them all. There was a bunch of hockey and soccer packs, so I picked up hockey and soccer unopened packs, which is something I'm low on. So they didn't have very many baseball packs, which is okay because I have a glut of baseball packs. But I was able to get some football packs, hockey and soccer, and just some oddball random. There was an Alf pack, which I was happy with. There was some I bought Pokemon. Now, it's probably only worth what I spent for it. But I'd never seen it, and it's early. It's from early Pokemon. They're not actual Pokemon cards. They're like perforated from a magazine or something, but it's from Pokemon the movie. And I think these were made in 1998. So it's like early Pokemon, Poke trivia. And here's what the back Pokemon. So these were in the 50-cent box, I think. And then I got a deal on top of it. I don't know, but he hooked me up. Because I spent a few hours there and he gave me a great deal on top of that. So got some of that. There's a ton of Nolan Ryan's. Nolan Ryan's been selling really well for me. on eBay Live. So I was picking out some Nolan Ryans. So that was a fun like Saturday dig. I bought the Hogan toward the end of the day. And then my buddy Mark, who's in the chat usually, he's not here today. Obviously, he's set up. So I kind of their booth was like my headquarters. Drop my stuff off, keep stuff at their table, hang out there. He was with and he shared part of his table with Mojo Sport on like Instagram and all that. I'd never met Mojo before, Jay, and dude is super cool dude. So we hung out quite a bit on Friday and Saturday at the booth. Super good dude. So Mark's other buddy Zach was set up, who's actually semi-local, and he's going to come set up at my show. He had like exactly, and I saw his showcase on Friday, and I'm like, there's a lot of stuff here that like I can use. I wanted to do the deal with Mark first, and I'm like, I'll come back and look at his stuff tomorrow. And so Zach wasn't at the table, and I was just needed a rest. And so I was sitting there, and I asked Mark, I said, what type of deal do you think Zach would give me if I bought like everything? If I bought his entire showcase? And he's like, oh, I'm sure he'll work with you. So, and he had some good stuff in there, really good stuff. Now I have the good stuff. So he came back and I'm like, so I want basically anything that's under $200. And and he had like Pete Rowe. There was a Carl Yastrzemski playing era autograph, Ron Santo playing days auto. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Clemente's, Nolan, some early like 70 tops Nolan Ryan, a couple 75 minis, a couple Steve Garvey rookies. So nothing like big, but a lot of like, there was a PSA 7 O-Pee-Chee Eddie Murray rookie, which is a really nice card. Just a ton of like good stuff, like right in my wheelhouse. So we ended up doing a good deal. Basically, I pulled everything out that I wanted. His sticker prices were good. So basically, like we went card by card, and he's like, what would you pay? Oh, the 64 stand-ups. Yeah, there were Billy Williams, Bobby Richardson, and Warren Spahn on the 64 stand-ups. And so basically what his sticker price was, I was taking like 10 to 20% off. And sometimes he'd be like, well, can you do, if it was like 125, I'm like, I'd do 100. He's like, how about 105 or 110? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Anything that was like 15, just did 10. Anything that was 10, we did 5. Anything 5. I don't think there was anything $5 sticker on it, but there were a couple like $10 and $15 cards. So we worked out a good deal. So that was actually my biggest buy of the weekend was, I think, yeah, that would have been the biggest buy. Yeah. I hope I didn't spend more than that at the bargain box. Would have been filled my car with cards. I did a bulk deal. I mean, I covered the gamut on everything. I'm good for inventory for a while. I did a deal with Denny, who is in our chat as Dairyland Picker, and Denny sets up at my Alliant Energy Center shows. And so he said, I think he probably mentioned in the chat, said, hey, I've got some good stuff. It's like some of the bargain box stuff you see at the show. And so I went and looked at it. We couldn't, it's tricky. So this is I'm going to go off on a tangent here. This was the first time I've ever stayed basically on campus at the Chicago Donald Stevens Convention Center. Usually I stay, I've stayed all the way out in like Wheeling, 20-minute drive. I've stayed just down the interstate, 10 minutes. So this was the first time that I stayed, and I stayed at the A-Loft, which I really like the hotel, and I'll probably stay there again. Although it is kind of a pain in the ass. Now, I did end up figuring it out. Initially, it was a pain in the ass, the parking situation, because you park in the parking garage. It's $15 a day, but I did buy the parking package. It's like, how the hell do I use it? So you had to get you still got your parking ticket, and then they'd validate your parking ticket at the front booth. So I ended up figuring that out. But it's kind of like but it's not easy. Like if I stay 10 minutes down the road, it would have taken me. So if I did this deal I did this deal on Saturday morning before the show with Denny. If I would have stayed in Schaumburg, 10 miles, 10 minutes away, I probably would have got there faster than staying right across the street, because I've got to walk into the parking garage, get my car, go out, drive out, and then meet up, and then get back in the parking garage, go back to the hotel. Because it was like, I'm not walking with those. I thought about it because we met Friday after the show. We met up at the hotel. He was staying at the Hyatt, and which I would stay there, but I'm a Marriott guy, so Aloft is a Marriott property. So we ended up doing the deal. I haven't even looked through. Like, I kind of thumbed through the stuff on Friday night, and he had a deal sweetener, a sweet 58 Tops Hank Aaron. So that was included with the bargain box, and he gave me a price. It was like, it's a 2-row shoebox and a 3-row shoebox of top-loaded stuff, plus the Hank Aaron SGC1. And he's like $350. I'm like, yeah, that's a deal, because there's good stuff, and I sold a few things. There's a Guy Lafleur auto. So it's not like quarter cards. It's like, there's good stuff in there. I think there's some good baseball. I haven't even looked, like the 3-row shoebox. I didn't even look. I'm like, okay, I think this is good enough. I know what's in here. So I'll have some fun going through that 3-row shoebox and seeing what else is in there. So I did a bulk deal. I bought Pokemon, hockey and soccer, vintage, cheap slabs. Got some Caitlin Clark, some great deal, Tiger Woods. Picked up some really fun stuff. Let's go to the chat. It was a spectacular weekend. It was awesome. What I have noticed before I get to the chat, the bargain boxes were a lot better this year than what they have been in the past. And that's even with our loss of Dimebox Dell. Dell and Jennings were pretty much the only dealers I bought from in bargain boxes over the last few years in Chicago. But there were some others. And I think the flea market booth, I think they've been there before, but it's so here's the thing. I'm buying complete, like, most of what I bought this weekend, I would never buy to list as a buy it now on eBay at the price. Now, if I buy a bulk, like Denny, the bulk deal with Denny, absolutely. Like, that's something that I still would have bought. But you pivot. And so eBay Live is a completely different audience. Stuff sells completely differently. I'm pulling out cards that I never would have pulled out of a $1 box to put on eBay Live, or to put in a buy it now. But I will. It's like, on eBay Live, a $1 card, I might put it up for $2.50 on buy it now. It sells for $20 on eBay Live. Case in point, Ohtani. So it's a completely different strategy. I would never, ever pay $1 a pack for junk wax. I would sell it. In fact, I did sell junk wax packs at card shows for 50 cents a pack, and I still would take home a whole box of them. So my buying habits have completely changed. Let's go to the chat now. Todd's in the house. Good morning. Royals 417. What's up? Hope you had a great weekend. Yes, it was a lot of fun. I'm exhausted. Shopping at card shows takes a lot of energy out of me. Cooter's here. What's going on? Good morning. Enjoying my coffee in the breeze off the Gulf of Not America. Hey, I'm having some coffee too in my Buc-ee's coffee mug. Ooh, yeah. I did miss the mushroom coffee yesterday. I had to drink regular coffee. I drank both decaf and, because I'm not used to like full, because mushroom coffee doesn't have the same caffeine as regular coffee. So when I drink regular, like I've got to monitor what I consume, because I'm not used to taking in that much caffeine. So I did a cup of regular out of my hotel room, and then I did the decaf also. Royals says nothing like a good solid start to your day, right? Solid poops are the best poops. Royals 417 says, good morning to Cooter. He says, hey, Matt. Zach and Porter in the house wants to know, how much money do you make before taxes now that you sell on eBay Live? I can tell you. Cooter says, is Bo wearing shoulder pads in his members only jacket? It does kind of look like shoulder pads. I've just been working out. Red Light, good morning. Boston guy is here. Good morning. Donald's here. What's happening? Royals 417 says, we'll know how much he's making if he changes his name to 2 million Cubs, which, by the way, little news to break. Actually, I broke it on Facebook the other day. So something I was working on over the last week, and it actually came together very quickly. I think I was only working on it for a few days. Now the hard part begins, like the planning and getting ready for it. I will be a vendor at the Cubs convention in January. I will be streaming live on eBay. I'll be doing some short, probably hour-long streams, multiple streams throughout the weekend. A heavy focus on Cubs cards, but I'll be selling other stuff as well. I will bring a showcase and probably a box of singles of Cubs cards from the collection. So looking forward to it. I'm searching Fiverr to find a graphic designer to do some stuff because I want to make it look professional. I've got to invest in some noise canceling microphones. What's cool is it's very limited. Like they only have about a dozen outside vendors set up. So I don't know if anybody's been to the Cubs convention that's in here, but Vendor Alley it's an alley. Like it's a small little alley. There's not much. I mean, in some of the vendors that are set up, I mean, it's literally like I don't even know if there's a dozen outside vendors. Like there's usually some artists, like an artist or two. Obvious Shirts has a huge setup where I'll be in like a smaller booth. Like Pat Hughes is set up. The minor league teams. Ian Happ had a booth last year. Was it Ian? Yeah, I think it was Ian Happ. Let's see. I'm trying to think. There's usually like a one or two like memorabilia. There's really not many vendors that set up with cards because the booths are expensive. So if you're selling dollar cards or $5 cards, it's going to take a whole lot of sales just to get to the break even. For me, it's more of marketing and building a presence, combining the 1 Million Cubs project. It's perfect for my brand. And then so I just eat the cost, and what I bring in, hopefully it brings people into my eBay live streams, and I'll bring some decent. I picked up some stuff that I intend to flip, put it in a $5 box of like refractors and rookies and of the current players and some of the legends. So I've got to work on getting some of that stuff ready as well. So excited about that. It's going to be different. It's going to be a completely different, because usually I go in on Thursday, and I still go in on Thursday, but usually I go in on Thursday and it's just like drink beer all night. Friday, start drinking at like 2, 3. Saturday, start drinking at noon. And it's just like a big weekend party. So that's not going to be the case this year. It's going to be a much different, I'll be at the booth like the entire time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I should have stayed in Chicago just to walk and get ready, get prepared, practice for being on a show floor all day. Chris is here. What's going on? Zach says Matt gets it. Red Light says 1 ounce silver is at $50.24, so you should get that or more for that card. Yeah, I think I paid, what did I pay for that? 65. I think I paid like 65 for it. Because he actually hooked me up with it. He had a sticker price of 100, but he gave me because I bought some other stuff with it. And he hooked me up with a pretty good deal. I bought a few cards with it. I got a Beth Phoenix auto. This is numbered out of 99. Well, where did the other stuff go? Oh, here. Oh, it's this pile. Becky Lynch chrome image variation in a CSG 9.5. CSG 9.5 Liv Morgan. And I thought there was one other autograph. Oh, yeah. Here it is. Oh, here's... All right, I got shit just everywhere. The silver bar was part of that. And then an Indy Hartwell autograph. Braun Breaker rookie from Prism. And a X-Pac event-worn shirt from 2002 Fleer. I think that was probably a buck or two, maybe. So I think that's what I got from that booth. So Gundy says, good morning, everyone, from the Deer Shack in northern Wisconsin. Hey, welcome to Wisconsin. Oh, wait, Gundy is from Wisconsin. Cooters in the house says, if the card sells for less than the intrinsic value of the silver, that tells volumes about this hobby. Cardboard weighs less than silver, so all cardboard is cheap, right? Jody's in the house. Good morning. Zach says, silver up 76% year to date. Bitcoin up 27%. Well, I'm investing in silver. He had a bunch of like shitty NBA rookie silver. And I think he had like $75 on the NBA rookies. He had, I think his price tag was $100 on the Raquel Rodriguez. And I got it for, I think after the deal, maybe $70 is what I paid for it. So I thought about buying some of the basketball ones, but at like 75, even if I got a bulk discount, if I get it down, like it's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? In that case, I don't think so. Gem City says, spectacular. Was it really? It was spectacular. It was real, and it was spectacular. Royals 417 says, if I had an ounce of silver for every $100 I've spent on cards, right? Oh my God. We'd all be rich. Speaking of rich, there he is. What's going on? Good morning. Cooter says 64 stand-ups piqued my interest. Where did, let's see, which box of it was in? So this was part of the showcase that I cleared out. 68 Bob Gibson, a 58 Yogi Berra, a Ricky Henderson rookie. Love me some Ricky Henderson rookies. Brooks Robinson with one of the worst photos you could imagine. I got a Willie Mays 72 in action. Willie Mays. This was one of the bigger cards. Pete Rose, the rookie Gold Cup, the first standalone Pete Rose card. Love that card. Got a bunch of older Pete Rose 68 tops. Sandy Koufax. It's another Willie Mays. Juan Marichal. Nice high grade 68 Cepeda. PSA 8. That's probably one that I'll buy it now because that will not sell for what it should on eBay Live. 59 Warren Spahn, PSA 6. Here's the Spahn stand-up. These are cool. These are really cool. Jerry Rice rookie. Bob Gibson. I think there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Here's the Bobby Richardson stand-up. 52 high number. Phil Mazie. Or I don't know if it's a short print or whatever that is. So some good stuff. Let's see. Saber says, and John Keating is drooling over those Garvey rookies. One sold last night, sold for well under comps too. Royal says hello to Uncle Rich. Zach says, haven't been there here in weeks. Glad to see Klein still provides important direction and hobby leadership. Hey, ComC set up at the Spectacular this weekend. The rumor of their demise has been greatly exaggerated. They were out in full force at the Chicago Sports Spectacular. Gem City says golf. I picked up some golf. I did pick up some golf. And I sold one of, I picked up some Tiger Woods stuff. It's wrestling. Oh, I think it's over here. Oh, my buddy Mark picked up nice 69 tops Clemente. 68 game piece Clemente. Got those for $25 a piece. So these were in like a value slab box, not the Clementes, but these Tiger Woods Turkmenistan stamps from 1997. And I think I sold one of these last night. I think it sold for like 25. I paid 10. Might have paid a little less than sticker on these. If it's $10, I'm not going to say, can you do 8? Can you do 7? 1997 Sports Weekly perforated promo card from 1997. So I did pick up some of those. I picked up a little bit of everything, even Pokemon. Can you believe it? Keys and milk. That's an interesting comment. Cooter says, my wife got suckered onto the Rise Coffee subscription list. Harder to kill than Willie Nelson. Dude, it is the Rise Coffee subscription is the most annoying. It's worse than trying to get a hold of somebody from your cable provider. Trying to get off that subscription list. Like I probably have a year's supply because it's like Columbia House. They just send you the dam and they bill you. And it takes rocket science to figure out how to cancel the subscription. It's a real giant pain in the ass. So basically I just load up and let it run. So I only have to cancel it once. So I'm not like ordering it every month and trying to cancel every month. So I'll get like 12, 15 bags. And then once I start getting low, boom, get back on. It's a pain in the ass. Boston Smoke is here. Yesterday, I set up at my first card show in 26 years. That is awesome. It was a good day, but I was disappointed that I didn't have time to dig through quarter boxes. That's the downside to setting up. That's the downside to setting up at a card show. And I am happy not setting up at a card show. One of my buddies says, why don't you set up here at the Spectacular? And it's like, it's not. And I was thinking about this on the drive home. It's like the Cubs convention is completely different. Because it's not a card show. It's a fan convention. And it's basically to get, market myself, market my brand. And hopefully, how do you 10X the hobby? You set up a Cubs convention because those aren't, I'm not looking to target card collectors, trying to grow. So, I don't like setting up a show. Like, case in point, when I went to the Pewaukee show last weekend, I was in and out in 90 minutes. I mean, I was home by like noon. If I set up, I left at 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I mean, it's in and out. It's an hour drive hour plus. If I were to set up at that show, I'm leaving my house at probably 6 and I'm getting home at like 5 p.m. And, I get early. Yeah, I can get early access to some of the dealers, which is why I like setting up in the Janesville show. But then like the last show, it's like it's not worth it. It's just not. I can come in. And plus my buying habits have changed a little bit. So the good thing is what I'm targeting, what I'm buying when I target stuff is not what everybody else there's usually like, with the exception of the mantles that disappeared the next day, most of the stuff, if I see it on Friday, it's still going to be there on Saturday. if I'm looking at bargain boxes, that's different. That's a different story. Like that stuff's going to be gone right away. So I totally understand the disappointment in setting up at a show. And for me, it's just not worth, and especially setting up for 3 days at the Spectacular. That's just a lot of time. And like, I don't feel it would be nice exposure. And maybe, I say this today, I don't want to set up, hell, who knows? Maybe in March I'll be set up. You never know. It would be for eBay Live. Like, I mean, that would be a good spot where it's card collectors and boom, you're promoting eBay Live. So now that I think maybe we'll see how the Cubs convention goes and how I liked that. And then maybe, March or next November, maybe it is something I look into. Gem City Card Show says Cubs Con with Bo, even more reason to go. There you go. Come see me. Stock up on 91 Topps Don Zimmer. That's right. The 1990 top Don Zimmer is more plentiful. Cooter says you need to rebrand to 979,000 Cubs with all your Cubs sales. Otherwise, we will face the biggest hobby scandal since nuanced shill bidding, right? Hey, I bought Cubs. I'm still buying Cubs. I got, so here's some Cubs stuff. Actually, I want to show, so some of this stuff is, I'm going to sell, and some of this stuff I'm going to keep. Fergie, this is numbered out of 199. Jackson Wiggins out of 199. James Triantos out of 199. Sammy Sosa out of 250. And I don't know if I can find and some other stuff that I'll be putting both in Cubs cards for kids packs as well as $5 box. Oh, this was also Brooks Robinson auto was also, this was in the Denny box, in the bulk box. Brooks Robinson auto. What was I looking for? The Cubs. Which box? It's not in that box. Not in that box. Yes, I think it's in here. So I was going through, there was a really cool booth that had a ton of like high-end, like star basketball cards, like some really high-end stuff. But then on the back, and this was over like towards the edge of the show by the autograph pavilion. And he had like a bunch of bargain boxes. And I'm like, I'm going to check this out. And I found a bunch of like good stuff. I'm like, this is exactly. And then I'm going through and I find some 1957 PCL cards, which I don't have any. And I thought the Los Angeles Angels were a Cubs affiliate, not to be confused with the current Los Angeles Angels. And I think they were a Cubs affiliate in the 60s. But I was pretty sure the Cubs had a PCL affiliate in the 50s. And so I pulled out some Los Angeles Angels. Like, no, this wasn't. I looked it up. It wasn't. So I'm going through and I see a couple names that I recognize, but they're all with like various teams. I'm like, okay, so I don't. So I finally I get to the second box and I see another. I'm like, I'm going to look this up. So the Cubs affiliate in 1957, the Portland Beavers. And I'm like, I passed a whole bunch of Portland Beavers because I don't remember the Portland Beavers being a Cubs affiliate. So Bill Sweeney, 1957, he was the manager. Bob Borkowski, which is a name that I think he has some Topps cards. Elmer Singleton, who does have some Cubs cards. Frank Carswell. Billy DeMars. These are 1957 Pacific Coast League. Portland Beavers, Bob Alexander, Sam Calderon, Kuno Barragan. I did pull this. Now he was with this is not a Cubs card. He was with the Sacramento Solons, but Kuno Barragan later played for the Cubs. Frank Ernaga, who I think had a cup of coffee. So That was probably my favorite find of the entire weekend because it's for my collection and it's something you don't see 1957 Pacific Coast League Cubs or Pacific Coast League cards ever. So that was a fun find. Rich says, tough Marischal rookie, really good card. Zach says, if Bo gets busted, that would be tough for Klein. The guy who made him relevant has a bad month. Comsey in shambles, and then Bo takes his wrench away. No bar of soap cure this streak. Gem City says, the only crime Bo has made is boiling his ribs before grilling. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Wait, did you pick up Pokemon? Does Max know this? There's Max. He might know it now. By watering down product and charging more and creating your own monopoly. So I picked up, they're not worth anything, but they were in junk boxes. They were in like a 50-cent box from 1998. Pokemon, the first movie, perforated cards. They'll probably sell on eBay Live for $1. So, but it's something a little different. And I was picking up just some random stuff. I know they're probably essentially worthless. But it was fun. It was fun. And I got the what else was there? Some soccer, 92 score soccer. Some hockey. I bought a bunch of hockey packs, 92 O-Pee-Chee. Let's see. Oh, shit. Well, it's not unopened anymore. It was an unopened pack of 95 Fleer Panini stickers. Well, who'd we get? We got Cliff Floyd, Omar Vizquel. That's the thing about these sticker packs. They come open super easy. Benito Santiago, Sandy Alomar Jr., Brave sticker, Fred McGriff. So we'll just toss. There's 50 cents wasted. How about Canadian football CFL unopened pack? Look for the Rocket Ishmael cards. There were some Garbage Pail Kids. Love me some Garbage Pail Kids. These sell really well on live. I have no idea what this is. These sell really well on eBay Live. Surf's up, Bo. So that was in my my junk wax digs. What else? I don't know if I'm going to keep this or I may take it to Cubs convention, put a high price on it because it's kind of probably end up being a PC. Santo, it is a Playing Days autograph. What else? Picked up Wilt Chamberlain, 72-73 and a 5. I love these are cool. The 71-72 Topps trios. It's got Maravich and John Havlicek. Picked up a Steve Young USFL. Don't see the USFL all that often. Here's some of the let's see. Got an Al Kaline 55 Bowman. Got a 55 Bowman Mantle. Love this card. I'm probably going to keep this for a little while. Not sell it right away because I love 55 Bowman. We got another iconic card, 71 Topps Thurman Munson. We got 72 Hank Aaron. Post serial Mickey Mantle. So some fun stuff there. And A box of 89 hoops. So a little bit of everything. It was like supermarket sweep. I went through Friday and I'm like tallying up my purchases, and I'm like, it's going to take me forever to hit my budget. So then by the end of Saturday, it's like, all right, let's clear out that showcase. Max says, by watering down product and charging more and creating your own monopoly. Royal says, speaking of PCL, you need to find me a couple 1930s Z-Nuts. Ooh. Cooter says that 67 Brooks Robinson is a tough high series card. This is not a 67. This is a card your mom threw out. Womp womp. Let's see. Max says Max doesn't care. I saw it. Burger King kids meal. Oh, is that where they came from? Burger King. I figured it was some sort of like giveaway. Jim City says, I love it. Why not buy a little and try it? Bo doesn't play in my sandbox. Bo doesn't want to play in Max's sandbox. That glitter glove looks like something Caleb Williams would wear during pregame. For the first place Chicago Bears? Is that the Caleb Williams that has the Chicago Bears in first place in the NFC North? That Caleb Williams? That Caleb Williams. Rich says to Cooter, my friend sold the store in Fort Worth near where you stay in Fort Worth. I don't know if that will change anything, but just an FYI. Show was great on Friday from 10 to 2, in and out. Show was great for me from 1 to 7 or 1 to 8. No, I think I left at 7. I actually stayed longer on Saturday than what I intended to leave by 1, but and I should have known better because I penciled in Saturday as my bargain box day. So I was there. I got there like 10, got in at 10 on Saturday morning. And I think I was there till 4 because they had the 1 hour warning. Like, we have 1 hour until the show closes. I'm like, oh, I didn't intend on staying all day. Which is a far cry from the last couple shows where it's like, oh, I've seen it all. I'm done. I'm out. Yeah, definitely no need to go back. There was no need to stay longer. That's for sure. Cooter says, thanks, Rich. I had meant to go by last week. I will check out the new owner. So it was good stuff picked up. Tomorrow went eBay Live. eBay Live was a very interesting group last night. I had some of my regulars, and then I had a bunch of new people in the room. And the funny thing was, I ran into Steve and Nick from Sports Card Grading. They're also on eBay Live, and we were chatting, and I'm like, I've got too much modern football rookies. We're at the halfway point or past the halfway point now of the season. A lot of the stuff and a lot of the, contenders have become pretenders. So, a lot of the stuff that was hot at the beginning of the season, the first couple of weeks into the season, no longer hot. So, now you've got to really square in on what I'm buying. And I'm like, the demand just hasn't been there for really any, even Drake May demand hasn't been there. And he's been playing amazing. Bo Nix was somebody that was like, nobody was buying Bo Nix until last night. I had like 4 or 5 different people request Bo Nix, which is insane. And Bo Nix was selling. Drake May was selling really well last night. He hasn't been. It's a good thing because I picked up a ton of Drake May last week, and I was just kind of sitting on it because it was selling for $2 or $3. I'm paying $1 for it, and I'm like, I can hold out because I think this should hit 5 in eBay Live. I understand, the buy it now prices are a lot different. But and last night's stuff was going for $10. Drake May base rookies selling for $10. Dollar. And Steve and I were texting this morning, and it's like, last night it was my dollar stuff. Like the $20 and up stuff I was not making any margins on that. It was break even or even taking a loss. I think I took a loss on the Garvey rookie based on sticker price, but I also know I'm going to take losses on some stuff. The Hulk Hogan autograph, I'm going to take a loss on that, but it's a Hulk Hogan autograph. It's gonna drive attention. So there are cards in items that I buy that I know I'm going to take a loss on. Now, do I want to take a loss on everything? No. Do I want to take a loss on a majority? Absolutely not. And when I can sprinkle in those dollar and spend 75, 80 cents on an Otani and sell it for $22 and snowball that, and then I can list a Garvey rookie card and take a $10 or $20 loss on it because I've made my money back on the dollar box stuff. But I've got to be careful, and that's why I want to limit my stuff. A majority, I want it to be under $100, and then to an extent under $200. But then I want to do some of the $200 to $500. $500 kind of my cap, even on like showcasing right now, because I don't have that audience. But to my audience, $200, $300, $400 is high end. And I can run the Mickey Mantle, Jackie Robinson, a Gretzky rookie, in those price points, and hopefully, not take a beating on it. But they could drive in new people and slowly build the base up and make money. So that's what I had. It was a fun show. It was a great show. Probably my best. Now, my buying habits have completely changed. But definitely my favorite Chicago Sports Spectacular since I started going back in, 2016, 2017. So it's definitely a good show. eBay Live. I'm gonna skip the after. I was thinking about doing a pop-up show this afternoon. I'm not gonna do that. I just need to veg for a little bit, watch football. I got to get stuff ready for the Madison Card Show. We've got 2 shows this weekend. Saturday, the regular show, Sports and Pokemon. Sunday is the Pokemon only show. Hopefully it doesn't snow. The doom forecasters are out saying we're going to get 7,000 feet of snow. Hopefully that's what it typically is, and it turns into nothing. Or it waits till Monday. That would be it. Dump a foot of snow on us after the Madison Card shows. So Saturday, Sunday, Madison Marriott South. It'll be our last shows at the hotel for a while. December, January, February, we'll all be at the Alliant Energy Center. And this week, I should have some information on what we're going to do moving forward for 2026. Because right now, March, April are completely up in the air. So got to figure that out. All right. That's what I had for today. Also, speaking of Madison Card Show, I did kind of not really I haven't promoted it to the masses yet because I wanted to test it with the table bookings. I had a couple dealers ask, like, hey, I got your email about the table bookings for December. Can I pay on Monday or can I wait? And I'm like, that's fine. I've had a bunch of dealers say, hey, when are you going to open up bookings for the December show? And I'm like, if people want to book now, they can book now. So, I'm not going to be pressing until probably after this weekend. What stinks is we have such a late show. I like to have bookings done by the 1st for the Alliant shows. So then I can have a solid week to 10 days to open it up to the public and just follow up with anybody. But since the shows are the 29th and 30th, and then December 1st is Monday, probably going to be, an extra few days, maybe that whole week, before we open it up, to anyone else. So, cause I don't want to double up, you got to pay for this show and this show. I don't want to do that. I want to try to keep it a month at a time. It's going to be tricky over the next 3 months though, since they're all at the Alliant, they're all going to be online booked. The Saturday show is okay. So we'll see. So if you're a dealer and if you haven't paid yet, that's fine. I just basically did it as a courtesy this week. I wanted to get that site launched. By the way, it's called Treasure. It's everything I had hoped for and more. Basically the Madison Card Show website to accept payments was a Band-Aid, just because, especially with the Alliant shows, it's just too much to handle doing the old fashioned way. However, the website is almost even more difficult to handle. So I've been one of my dealers had an idea running by with an app, website for shows just like this. Um, Ball hasn't been rolling on that. I got Treasure reached out to me. We did a call a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, this is amazing. It actually did more than I expected it to. And then one of the East Coast card shows, I know the promoter there, and I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, you're on Treasure. What's it like? And he's like, I've done 20 shows. I haven't had a single issue. It's amazing. And I'm like, okay, all right. That's the vouch I needed. So last week I got signed up, and we're taking payments. It's really cool. I'm gonna show you what it is. If I get the right side. Hopefully, all right. Also, I must say, Treasure, yes. Max says that booking sucked. FYI, no PayPal or Venmo. Well, I'm sorry it sucked. It's gonna be the way it's gonna be. This is the permanent solution. So get used to it. So hopefully, all right. I'm gonna exit this tab. All right. Hopefully my internet doesn't die. If my screen goes black, we're done for the day. So if my screen goes black, have a great day. Otherwise, stick around. Here's the Treasure website. Let's share my screen. The card show is getting more and more of a pain in the ass for me. And I'm like highly considering hiring somebody to manage it, because it's just a giant pain in the ass, at least for customer service, because I don't want to deal with Max bitching about the booking. All right, so this is the site. Let's go down to, it's the December 27th. Madison Card Show. All right, so we click on that. So it shows, here's, you can buy advanced tickets a little cheaper than what you'll pay at the door. This is a list of the vendors that have booked so far, and it shows like what average guy cards, all sports from various years, TCGE, only Pokemon. Sean's got sports cards, football and basketball. There's Max, single, sealed, graded with all price points in mind. Sports card grading, my guys, Nick and Steve. So there it is. You got mapping. So you can click on, and then what's cool is, and this is great for vendors, because now people can see, oh, what's he got, and you can promote your shit. If you're, hey, I'm buying Pokemon, people can come see, and they're like, oh, what's this vendor list? Oh shit. If I want to sell stuff, I can sell it to Max. You can update your photos. So it's a really interactive website. I don't think they have an app. It's web-based, I believe. So you can book your tables. You can buy the tickets. Tables are password protected. And then once it does go live to the public, I don't have to I can put like an approval process where you can't just, like, somebody that wants to sell Girl Scout cookies books a table. I can actually go in and, if it's somebody I don't know, like, there's an approval process. Now, right now it's password protected. It's only to existing dealers. So, I know who's booking, but when it comes down to public, I can set that approval. And that way I can basically pick and choose who can book a table. Let's see. What kind of platform doesn't allow for PayPal or Venmo? I don't know is that true? Here, let me see. All right, I'm going to stop sharing for a second too. All right, I want to test this out. Oh, shit, I forgot the password. Oh, wait. I remember. All right, actually, you know what? I'm going to purchase a ticket. All right, I'm going to purchase one ticket. Continue to checkout. Here, I can share this. The Venmo PayPal doesn't make sense. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's only Cash App or card. That is a pain in the ass. I'll reach out to the guys at and see when. I know. I think it's I think it's Venmo. That's PayPal should be easy for them. Venmo's a pain in the ass for websites to get launched. I do know that. So yeah, it's just Cash App or card. That is a pain. I understand your concern on that. I'll reach out. I'm going to email them now, so I don't forget. Madison Card Show. Come on. All right. I just messaged the people at the site. Tried Cash App to start, then bank bounced it. Eventually went through Apple Pay, but I don't pay anything business expense-wise through my bank. Just an accounting headache for me is all. All right. So that's what I had for today. So check it out. Is it on Treasure? OnTreasure.com? OnTreasure.com. I will tell you, so the reason in actually I went to this faster. I had a giant headache with my website where it was double booking. So that's why more tables opened up because the Woo payments was like doubling up. So I had to refund. Matt Fisher was one where I'm like, hey, did you mean to book 4 tables? He's like, no, I only booked 2. I'm like, well, you paid for 4. So I'll just take the 2 off the Saturday show. And it did that to probably 6 or 7 dealers. So that creates more of a giant, like that's something I shouldn't have to worry about. So that's what it's like. Okay, I'm going to stop. Plus I have to just the back end. I have to build out. I have to use I'm paying for Constant Contact. Now I have to pay for On Treasure to get everything, but it's probably, I think it's less than what I'm paying Constant Contact. So it's just the back end work is just a giant pain in the ass. So, and I don't want to fuck with it. I don't want to fuck around with that stuff. All right, I'm going to go. Have a great day. Hit the like, subscribe. I'll be live tonight. I'm going to start late tonight. I'm going to go live at 8:00 tonight because the 7:00 hour on Sunday nights have been brutal. So we're going to start at 8. Last week I started at I think 7:45 and it was great. I didn't have that first hour like, oh, this sucks. So we're going to start at 8:00 tonight, eBay Live. I'm going to take Monday off of eBay Live to get the weekend shipping out. And then Tuesday, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe a daytime stream on Tuesday. Wednesday night, I thought about doing the set break, the 74 basketball set break. I haven't had a chance to get stuff. That's something I want to get preloaded. So I may work on that today, preloading some stuff. I definitely got to get like the Hogan Auto and the silver bars for Saturday's show loaded up. So I do intend on going Black Friday. It'll be a daytime show because I got to get ready for the Madison card shows. I fucking haul tables there and get everything set up. And then Saturday night's wrestling night, and then we'll do Sunday night singles. So that's the plan. So have a wonderful day. And go Bears, first place, NFC North. Let's keep it up. Let's get a win. Steelers, I think, today. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Actually, we'll see you tonight on eBay Live or tomorrow morning. See you then.